So they're doing all that stuff, and that's great. That's cross-cultural, cross-age. It's just inspirational. And because we were so enthusiastic as a group of people, the local authority, and again the local authority comes into it, so key to enabling, facilitating what we want to do, making it happen, said, well, there's a diploma thing being rolled out nationally in environmental and land studies or land-based industries or whatever, but basically about ecosystems and permaculture and animal welfare and what it, how you grow food environmentally, said all that stuff. Well, why don't we base it at Todd High? Why don't we have Todd High as the centre point and the focus within Colesdale for that diploma? Well, that makes you want to cry, because that means kids who are not interested in being like nuclear scientists, who are not interested in doing a whole range of but who actually have a skill set that is going to be so incredibly important in the future. They can get a diploma that allows them to think about working on the land, that puts them in touch with the environment, that understands the perspective of we are one species of many, and we are kind of like knackering it for everybody else. So that for me was inspirational. That means that when now kids, if you imagine, go through that diploma, we have the chance, and I'd like to see this worked out in the workshop this afternoon, to think about, well, where would they take that after school? And how would they become the farmers of the future? And how would they become the innovators around food to enable us all to eat more healthily, locally? So we're starting to see that kind of like learning process from a very early age in the primaries, and before actually in the children's centre as well, working its way right the way through to high school and beyond, so that we've got, in 10 years' time, a group of kids that are coming out with a different perspective in their relationship with the world. How fantastic is that? That's just the best. Every local authority in the country, I think I'm right in saying this, will be having a diploma somewhere or other. We need to network those. We've not done it yet, but what we need to do is whip them up and bring them into part of the incredible edible network. So many more things that I want to share with you. Oh, I need to tell you about this fish farm. I'm conscious about time. We kind of like right at the beginning brought in a fantastic unit called the Green Business Unit that works in Sorby Bridge within Colesdale. And we said, come and have a look at the high school, see if you've got any ideas about what we might do. Looked at the land at the back, which you'll get a chance to see later on, and said, oh, Pam, I can't believe what you've got. Oh, fantastic. And before you know where you are, we've got a £750,000 lottery bid to put an aquaponics unit. That means we grow fish from the nutrients in the water, fish poo to the rest of us. You can grow the veg and fruit from that. It's all heated, with understore heat pumps. I don't know how it all works, but basically top-notch, sustainable environmental practice. We're going to have orchards, we're going to have bees, and Chris is going to be talking a little bit more about bees later on. We're going to be having a living, edible landscape on the doorstep of these children so that they can go and experience it for themselves. Why do we not have every single school that is being built in this country have that sort of facility? Because we haven't got the imagination and the will, and it's about time we did. So, lots of stuff around that, and I just want to talk very briefly about the business plan. It's great that we do propaganda gardening, and we do propaganda gardening to say to people, you can do it, go and do it, don't be frightened. It's great that we've got this learning network and we'll be growing stuff at the back and it'll be on the table for the kids to eat, that's great. But fundamentally, if we're really serious about the issues ahead, we need to make sure that these hillsides around here and all the opportunities for growing on a commercial scale are focused on producing local food to local markets, so that we, through our purse, are supporting our local farmers, so that we're actually thinking creatively about where we put up the polytunnel to the future, so we can grow the veg commercially, that we do bring in market gardens. And around that, we thought, how are we actually going to do that? We did two things. The first was, let's think of a product that we could promote, so that we could say to farmers, because we did have a meeting with the farmers and it was all like this, and it ended up all right, but I wouldn't like to say that they became immediate converts. So we said, what can we do to show them that we've got brand loyalty around todmorden? So we made up, just because it makes us laugh, because if you don't have a laugh doing this, well, come on, it's hard work enough. Every egg matters. We just loved it. It just made Mary and I laugh, so we kept it. Beryl and Pauline run that one, and what we said was, okay, let's see if we can encourage more and more people to keep eggs themselves and to tell it to their neighbours. Let's create an egg map network, so people are starting to get the idea that you can produce eggs in todmorden. And what's happening? People are going into the shops and saying, can I have todmorden eggs? Well, of course they can't yet, unless they want to get it from the farm gate or whoever. We started off with 2 people, we've got 30 at the moment, I think, on that map, and it's growing. So people are starting to get the message that you can get support around a local product. So we're looking at whether we can create a local Todmorden egg cooperative. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, we're going to try. The next thing we did was, out of our own funds, we got notice boards with incredible edible Todmorden on them, and we gave them to all the market traders who were selling local produce. And we asked them to scribble on it what they were producing. Because we wanted to make people aware that there's quite a lot of stuff already being grown, but it's not being marketed as local, so you're not creating that brand, you're not getting people sort of tuned in. And now we've got all sorts of stuff. At the back there's a photograph of Alan by Cows. Alan is our only organic dairy farmer in Todmorden. As a result of Alan with the milk, his brother-in-law Carl has produced a local cheese, which is now being sold by Crumbly Jean on the market on her cheese stall. And he's not only produced a soft cheese, but he produced a hard cheese, and it's just the start of a whole, you know, a yoghurt empire. I don't know what it is, but who would have thought in Todmorden? We can do it. We have another farming champion called Sally and her husband Jonathan with the pigs. They've expanded their group, flock, whatever you call pigs, I'm not very good on these things, of rare breed pigs, and now, you know, there's even more bacon and sausages going out the door than was before. They've got even more, they've got even more chickens, they've now got turkeys and so on and so forth. So there's pots of stuff you can do. We have champions coming out of the woodwork. Nick is just the best growing champion in the entire world. He also comes up with some really catchy phrases. What he says, Nick's over here. What he says is, what's the one, Nick? It's, when was the last time you saw a statue to someone who was careful? That's one, isn't it? And the other great line is, if you eat, you're in. Because people say, how do we join Incredible Edible? If you eat, you're in. Just don't talk about it, do it. So what I want to do is share some memories, colour us all. We've got kind of like bigger badges than some other people because we're just testosterone full. No, we've got that. Please come and talk to us during the day because there's more things. I mean, we could be here all day. But here's the memories. The canal, the cemetery, Fred. That's on the railway station. The very first thing that was done was with Todmorden in bloom, planting up these on the station with herbs. And they're all for people to help themselves too. And after 2 years, people are just getting the knack that they won't be shot if they nick some chard or some marjoram. They're encouraged to do so. Sorry, let's go back. That's the railway station. You won't have seen it at its best, obviously. We are in November. But that's the railway station again. For anybody getting off the train to help themselves too. Our Harvest Festival, a huge success. Mary, the planting of our first orchard. 80 people turned up to do that. That's me and that's... You recognise, that's Nick, obviously. Can I just tell you about Val, who's over in the corner? Pennine Housing, our incredible Pennine Housing. Where are you? Incredible Pennine Housing. And what she actually said was she wants to roll out this programme for all her tenants. And that's a real cutting-edge thought. So her tenants can have chickens in their back gardens. It's fantastic. You know, allotment law trumps tenants, and that's what's happening. Load of stuff to talk about there. Tony, out on the estate, cooking, again with Coral, cooking, This is the health centre that Dr. Shipman practiced from, and now you'll notice instead of dying things at the front, there's lots of veg. That's a new health centre that he didn't. And again, lots of stuff. And that's it all being planted up. That's Simon, a big supporter of ours with one of our many chickens. And that is Napoleon, who leads the chicken network. I'll do these two. That's the glamour post on the front of small holding. That's Sally's chickens. This is in the schoolyard of one of our primary schools. Look at that, it's utterly fantastic. It's an old disused tennis court. Don't say you haven't got the land, you have. Wait, there's a will, there's a way. This is at the front, here. The aquaponics unit that Nick built, that will be available to look at over lunchtime. You might recognise the face there, Nick again. This is Alan and his herd of cows. This is Carl making the cheese, looking extremely worried. And this is Jean when she sold it. The pigs, the turkeys, the pigs again, the goats, local market. And this is a group of us celebrating our Harvest Festival. And at the end of the day, we just want to remind people there's one really simple reason why we do what we do, and it's for Sid. Thank you very much.